What's good, you guys, and welcome to your second Java tutorial. And in this tutorial I'm going to get you guys to make a very basic hello world Java program. So what that basically means is that your program's just going to print out hello world or whatever you want. Okay, so if you haven't got Eclipse looking like this, what you need to do is click on File, New, Java Project. But if you don't see Java project, don't worry, just click on project and then you'll see a Java file. Just open that up and then double click Java project, then name your project, name it whatever. I'm just going to name mine roadside, and then after that it should look something like this. Your JRE should be 1.8. You can use 1.7 if you want, but I recommend using the latest one. The latest one is 1.8. Unless you're watching this at a later time, then you probably got 1.9 or whatever. So just click finish like that, and then open up that roadside or whatever you've named your project. And then so what a project basically is, it contains all of your Java classes, everything that you need to run your program. Or it's just basically a folder, you know, like how you keep your Word folders you keep certain files in a folder, is what I'm trying to say. So click on open up roadside or your file and right click src and then go into new and then class and then name your class whatever. I would recommend you name your classes with a capital letter. The reason being, it's just custom to do that. You won't really ever see a class beginning with a uncapitalized letter. So I'm just gonna name mine dog because I love dogs, or some dogs, the cute ones. Anyway, so make sure it looks something like that. Source folder roadside /src and all of this. So you should have these two unticked and this ticked. I think default is like that, so just make sure it looks like that and just hit finish. Okay, so now you have your class. If it doesn't open up automatically, just open up roadside, open that up, open up source, open up the package. Your package is what contains your classes and all that. I didn't name mine, therefore it's just called default package. Double click the Java one and it should open here. Okay, so alright, so if you guys like default in Eclipse, you don't really have the line numbers on the left here, which is quite stupid, but I'll show you guys how to get that up. So if you just click on Window, Preferences, General, where are you? Okay, Editors, Text Editors, and here you'll see Show Line Numbers. Make sure that's ticked. And then click OK. You'll have it up. Okay. So what I was saying to you in the previous tutorial was about how Eclipse can show you where your errors are. So I'm gonna make the class first, the program first, and then I'm gonna tell you about errors. So every Java program has to have classes involved. I mean, if you don't, then I don't know what it is, but it has to have a class. So here you've got the public class dog, the name of your class, and then between these two curly brackets is like the meat of your class. So everything that you want your class to do is going to be between these curly brackets. So inside a class you have methods, and what a method basically is basically they're a set of instructions. Methods are a set of instructions that tell your computer what the program has to do. So the layout of a very basic method, let's say if we want to make cereal, I think it's making cereal, I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. So make cereal, and then brackets, and then curly brackets, and within those curly brackets you're going to put in like what that method is actually going to do. So for making cereal, you get out the bowl, and then pour in cereal, And another thing, if you guys put in milk before cereal, then you guys are satanic. That's just weird. So it's pour in, and then after that pour in milk. Because I mean, it's like there's no logic behind putting in milk first and cereal. I don't know. If you guys, I don't know. That's just how I'm like. Anyway, so this is basically the meat of your method. Okay, so here it says void make cereal. What this is the method header, and then make cereal with the brackets is the method name, and between those brackets is the method body. So if you guys, I might be referring back to this later on. So I take a note of like how the layout of this method. So you've got the method header, method name, and then method body. Okay, so this won't run. As you can see, the X is here. Will allow us to run it because they're not proper Java statements. And the other thing, at the end of every Java statement or line of code that you write, make sure you add a semicolon to that. Otherwise, then you'll get an error. So, okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. So, in order for a program to run, a class to run, it needs to have, well, a program, sorry, to run, there needs to be a main method. So with that main method, so within that main method, it'll have all like what the computer is actually going to do. So if you run a Java program that doesn't have a main method, your computer will get confused. It'll look for the main method, but as it can't find it, it'll get confused, and therefore it won't do anything. So right now, I just want you guys to follow my lead, and then after that, I'll explain part of it to you. So just type in public, static, void, main, string, square brackets, and then args, and then curly brackets. Okay, so this part here, I'm not going to explain to you in this tutorial. I'll explain it to you in the next one. And then here, main is the method name. So this is what the computer is going to look for, this main method. And then within that, you've got parentheses. Within those parentheses next to it, you have string, square brackets, args. Don't worry about that too much. I'll explain to you that at a later tutorial. So in there, we're going to create, we're going to get the computer to print out hello world or whatever. So system.out.println, and then brackets, semicolon, just make sure you remember that. And then within that, type in whatever you want. I'm just going to type in hello world. Okay, so once you've got that, just click on the green circle with the triangle if you look up on this bar here. If you can't see that for whatever reason, just click on run and then click run there. And then if you look down below in the console, it will print out hello world. So yeah, so you basically just got your computer to print out a basic line. So what this line here means is that print line is going to get this print line here is saying print this line here, hello world, out onto the system. So system being your computer. So what it's saying is print this to your computer. This is it's quite a useful print line's quite useful. I mean, it can do all sorts, like printing it out to a network or a database or whatever. But in this case, we're just getting your computer to print out hello world. So yeah, that's basically what it is. And okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys about how errors work. So let's say we've got rid of the semicolon, yeah, and then we click run again, and then it'll say error exists in required project. So if you proceed, and then here it will tell you exception in thread main, so this main one, language error, unresolved compilation problem, syntax insert semicolon to complete block statements at dog main .java 4. So that's basically saying line 4. Click on that. It's telling you it needs you to insert semicolon. So just insert that there, and you'll have your error. You'll bypass that error. So yeah, if you like use Notepad++, you wouldn't get this. It just your program wouldn't run. So this is like the useful thing about Eclipse. It tells you where your error is, which saves you time from looking through lines and lines of code if you've got like a 1,000-line program. Okay, so yeah, so thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope to see you guys again in the next one. So take care.